for or overlook the people who first started the resistance in Ferguson. Yeah. The organization of Blacks for Struggle, for Black Struggle, Organization for Black Struggle. The other groups that are there on the ground, I think it's important to pay homage to them. Yes. And one of the things that happened in the last movement in the 60s is that we end up talking about one organization like none of the organizations happened. Yes. Second, I'm also concerned, and I'm not being negative here. I'm also concerned that white people who are allies, who want to be allies to Black Lives Matter, don't end up taking it over and being the most prominent in the news and in the conversation. I'm concerned about that, right? And even though the leaders continuously say that's not going to happen, but when we see it, there it is. So what I want us to do, and I wrote this in a column, and that's why I ended my lecture with that, we've got to hold our ground. And our ground is that this is our struggle. And that we are, in the final analysis, our own liberators. And a people that cannot save itself is lost forever. And that no matter how numerous or sincere our allies are, those who would be free must strike the first, the final, and decisive blow. And this does not mean I'm criticizing anybody. I want sustainment. When I look at a movement, look, we celebrate and I'm inviting y'all now. Next year is the 50th anniversary of the 50th anniversary of Nguzo Saba and our organization, US. And one of the things I know about sustainment is that people gain ground and they don't hold it. You gain it and then somebody convinced you it was wrong. That you should not say Black Lives Matter, you should say all lives matter. Well, we know that, but that's not the issue now. It's just like, for example, if I'm talking about healing somebody with a severe disease, and we say, let's heal everybody. Well, let's just deal with AIDS first. If that's the disease we're talking about, right? So I'm just saying, a lot of things people say is true, but it's not appropriate to the point where we are. And what it'll do is dilute. I forgot to tell myself not to go too long. But let me what it does is dilute the struggle. So let me tell you this. Hold your ground. And the ground, the first ground, is our people's ground. It's the Black ground. That's the first thing. All right? If you start out like that, it's the Black struggle, make sure it stays. Second is you got to build on your gains. Who would ever thought that the people of Ferguson, that's another thing I want to tell you. Notice I said the people of Ferguson. Notice I didn't say the young people. Yes, right. Why do you think I didn't say the young people? There's young people out there. But if you look at it and you're on the ground, you'll see it's all ages. That's what sustained it. Yeah. And the moment we get into secondary identities, whatever they are, we lose the common ground identity of our blackness. Every other identity, we can have the same conversation with somebody else. Yes. If you're gay, you can have it with white gays. If you're a woman, you can have it with white women. If you're a man, you can have it with white men. Right? Tell me something you can. But with Black people, that's the common ground. That's it. That's right. I tell all my people, look, I'm not denying you these other identities. But you've got to hold your ground on the blackness or you divide up into things. When Tim Murray and I went to Ferguson, and then I lectured on pre-Kwanzaa in St. Louis. And some sisters and brothers from the Organization for Black Struggle came to meet with me. They wanted to meet with me and ask me about the struggle and about how to sustain it. And it was just beautiful because they were on the line. And they left the line and had to go back before my lecture was over because they had to relieve other people, right? And one of the things I told them is that learn to stay together. Don't let people bring in divergent identities for you. Y'all come in here, but don't ever forget, you got an energy, but do you see down the road? Do you have the experience and the wisdom and the foreknowledge that older people have in the struggle. You don't have to, you don't have to bow and scrape to them. But guess what? The European, and I need to say this, I know this is long, but it's important so you know I support the efforts, all the efforts in Ferguson, right? But I'm telling you, to make this struggle work, listen, look how the European tells us we got a generation gap. Well, we got some issues, but that's life. The problem is not to have problems, the problem is how we solve them. Second, does a white man have a generation gap? Have you heard a session on that? No. They actually asked us to honor their old people. Old actresses. Old politicians. They bring Joe Rivers up there and say, honor this one. They bring Ted Kennedy up. They never say, don't honor white old people. In fact, old white people control this country. So if people are so concerned about you, call for them. Tell a white ally, tell their parents, give it up. We don't have that conversation. No. So I'm saying don't divide yourself. Hold your ground, build on and expand your gains, and constantly push the battle lines and the lives of our people forward. Yes. That's what I think. And I'm glad that Black Lives Matter and all the other groups, Organization Black Struggle, and all the other groups at Ferguson on site, especially the people that started it. Yes. I'm glad for them. Who would thought that they would go 4 months every day? Yes. Give them a strong hand.